What's going on, everyone? My name is D. Anthony with evolutiontraders.com. What I'm going to do is a quick little recap on a trade that I am currently still sitting in, but have taken profits on. So I've only got just a couple of runners left. That ticker symbol is going to be AMD. So this is going to be a little bit more of a training video and kind of a psychological mindset video on what exactly it is that I'm thinking, how I'm thinking, and what exactly I'm looking for. Okay, so on AMD, obviously we know we had those numbers that came out in the morning time. The overall market gap down pretty aggressively and pretty heavily. One thing that you don't want to do, if you were holding a short position overnight, then obviously anytime you hold a position overnight and that move either A, gaps up or gaps down, depending on which side of the trade you're on. For example, if you were holding a short position on AMD as of yesterday, and come this morning, we get the big gap down. Immediately within the first 5, 10, 30 minutes of the day, I'm going to want to be selling out of that position just to lock in those gains. I'm not going to get greedy. If you continue to add to your position, let's say, for example, you were shorting AMD last night and you add to the short position, let's say right off the bell because you're already up, you're getting greedy, you want to make more money, and this quickly reverses on you like it did today. Now you turn a winning trade into a losing trade. So just always kind of keep that in mind. If you swing something overnight and it gaps up or gaps down in your favor, start to take those profits immediately. If you're playing options and you have multiple contracts, what you can do is lock in 60 to 70% of those wins and then hold those remaining runners. And if something happens where, like, for example, we close back over a pre-market high or we get over the 20 SMA or something like that, a technical reason to kind of get out of the trade, then just kind of take your loss or your break even on those last bit of remaining runners. So I did not hold AMD short overnight, but what I was looking for here is I didn't want to get too greedy off the open. Knowing that we already had an excessive and big gap down, I was waiting to see if the market was going to find some type of bottom, show us some type of reversal, and give us a change in trend. Now that change in trend was going to be if we could get back over the 20 SMA, okay? So the purple line that you see on my screen is the 20-day moving average. You can see off the open, we had this big gap down. We came all the way down to lows on AMD of around a price of $54.57. Obviously, no one is going to know that this is going to be the low of the day. You're not, unless you're guessing, trying to time something, there's no possible way that you would have bottom ticked this candle here unless you were extremely, extremely lucky. And if you did, understand you were extremely lucky, because there was nothing to say that this did not bottom out at 54.57, make a run up towards the 20-day moving average, consolidate, and then put in a new low, right? Okay, so we understand those two processes there. Now, what I was looking for here is if we were going to get some sort of reversal, I was looking for a change in trend. That change in trend would have been a close over the 20-day moving average. You can see here at 6:55 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we get that change in trend where we do close back over this 20 SMA. This following candle is our confirmation candle. This is the candle that I entered into my call options. Now, I did take a $55 strike just due to the price, the fact that AMD's contracts are not all that much. So anytime I'm looking for a scalp or a day trade, I always want to either go in the money or right at the money, depending on the price of the options premium. Being that AMD is a little bit lower priced options premium than, let's say, a stock like Tesla, I could afford to, kind of go in the money and size up a little bit. I did take 10 contracts of AMD on this confirmation candle here at 7 a.m., right? I also preach to everyone in the community, let's kind of let the first 30 minutes of the market kind of digest, and then let's see if there's some sort of continuation, there's some sort of setup, there's some sort of follow through that we can take advantage of after we get out all of that opening range madness out of the way. And as I got into this here, not only does it explode, but it puts in a first initial run up to around $57.23 before it starts to backpedal. Now, I always like to, especially when I take 10 contracts, I like to take 2-3 off the board right away just to kind of secure some gains, give myself a little bit of cushion in the overall trade, especially if I'm able to get 2 to 3 pushes higher, meaning 2 to 3 green candles after my entry. I like to start scaling out at that point in time. So if we kind of look at my entry candle being the first candle, second candle, third candle, fourth candle, we kind of make 3 pushes higher. I do take out 2 to 3 contracts here. We do pull back for about 20 minutes. Nothing to be too concerned about, given our entry is down here. Okay, so our entry's down here, we pull back literally almost to our entry spot, and then we get this nice bounce. So when we get this nice bounce yet again, all we're doing is sitting and waiting. All we have to do is let the move continue to play out. There's no reason for us to get out of the trade. There's no reason for us to get squirmish. There's no reason for us to, get panicked or have anxiety or try to lock in gains too soon. All we have to do is, as long as we stay over this purple line, which is the 20 SMA, all we need to do is continue to hold the trade. Now, depending on how many contracts that you took, obviously you can start to scale out if you feel comfortable with the gains and you know that you're going to get ready to turn off that monitor and this can be, a solid day for you or a solid week, then you can scale out accordingly. Always make sure to leave that last 1 or 2 runners until we break down and give us a technical reason to get out. So I started to scale out on the next push higher here. The next level that I was really looking at was going to be these pre-market highs. So if I kind of zoom out a little bit, we can see the top tick here on the pre-market highs was $58.29. If, for example, you missed this move here on the change in trend, if you missed the move on the 20 SMA play, you could have sat back, been patient, and waited for us to take out pre-market highs. This is another setup, this is another entry, and this is also another add spot if you're looking to add to your position, right? So what we would be looking for, let's say, for example, we never took this play here, we never took any profits, we missed it, we were late to the party, maybe we woke up late, maybe we were trading something else. The next area of interest that I would be looking at here, and I would draw a price level, would be over pre-market highs. If AMD can close over pre-market highs and confirm, that's my entry. So we break pre-market highs at 8:05 Pacific Standard Time in the morning, and then at 8:10 we get that confirmation over the pre-market highs. So our entry would have been on this candle here, somewhere around $58.63, and from $58.63 we ran up to a high price of around $60.13. Now, you're never going to be able to top tick this if you did wait for the pullback. If you notice how perfectly this pulled back, guys, technical analysis does not lie. Just look at this, for example. We break pre-market highs. We have our pre-market high level set. We put in our first initial high. And then we pull back, and look at exactly where we pull back to. We pull back to that pre-market highs, and then we get our next bounce. So on this move, if you did not sell on this $1.50 run higher and you sat through the pullback, well, on the next run, you need to make sure you take profits on that next run if we don't take out the previous high. Now on AMD, we never took out the previous high. So automatically here, I'm starting to think, okay, this could be the end of the move, and I need to take my profits before it pulls all the way back and I end up losing money. Your entry or your exit would have been a close below the 20 SMA. Now, obviously, if you entered here on the 20 SMA change in trend, that price was around $56, and that close price under the 20 SMA was $58.33. So you still would have made $2 on that move. You would have made $1 and some change on this move, and you would have got out on the move here. I hope that kind of makes sense. It's an easy way to play it. If you just simply watch the 20 SMA, you watch the pre-market highs, you watch the opening range lows being that first hour candles lows. I hope that helps, guys. My name is D. Anthony with Evolution Traders. If you guys would like to trade with me and the crew, make sure to join the Discord. Check all of the links down in the description box below, and I will catch you guys all on the next video.